everyone. This is Larry with Rushing Forward Adventures with my daughter Angela. We are headed out on a new adventure. Place that I've been wanting to go to for a while. Once I learned about it, and I said in a previous video, it's about a 6-hour drive, which it is. But we're going through some, right now, one of the more scenic roads in Indiana. And as you can see, we are, the fall colors are in bloom to a certain degree. There's still some green, but most of the maples and oaks and so forth are changed colors. And
in half a mile, at the traffic circle, continue straight onto Indiana 37.
Shedding their leaves. But at any rate, we'll maybe get some more travel footage a little later on, but I'm kind of excited, and I think my daughter is too, basically just to get away from home for a few days. But these wonderful roundabouts, I don't know about you, but I don't like them. At any rate, we'll be back to you when we if we find some more interesting stuff. We're going to go down there interstate, so we'll get on the section of the newest interstate in Indiana. I might bring you back on for that, and then we'll kind of go from there. So thanks for watching, and more to come. Pretty down here. Coming down the hill to Martinsville. Well, greetings, folks. We made it to one of the destinations. We got delayed by traffic and everything else, and then come to find out where we were coming, it's closed, and the site we were going to see tomorrow is only open on certain Saturdays of the month. We so we didn't read the fine print. But at any rate, this is the Mary's Covered Bridge, Mary's River Covered Bridge, also known as Little Mary's Covered Bridge. There's a plaque here. This is the old plaque. This was George Rogers Clark campsite. In the 3rd year of the American Revolutionary War, it's Lieutenant Colonel George Rogers Clark and his army of 179 Virginians set out from Fort Massac metropolis on their way to liberate the town of Kankakee from British control. Kankakee. On July 3rd, 1778, Clark's army crossed the Old State Ford near Welch and established the fifth and final camp on the west side of St. Mary's River, which we're on the west side. On July 4th, Clark's army marched to a staging point at a diamond cross, and later that evening attacked and secured Kaskaskia. But this particular bridge, sometimes known as Little Mary's Covered Bridge, was built in 1854 in continuous service from 1854 to 1930. It was originally part of a planked toll road between Brenham and Chester. All of the timber in the bridge is the original, with the exceptions of the floor. Floor joists, roofing, and siding acquired by the state of Illinois in 1936 for purposes of preservation and a picnic area. Chester, Kaskaskia, Illinois. We're about 4 miles north of Chester. Bond, first governor of Illinois, 1818 to 1822, is buried in an Evergreen Cemetery in Chester. John McFerrin, who purchased land in 1817, but Samuel Smith, who settled here in 1830, is considered the founder of Chester, formerly known as Smith's Landing. Community was renamed after Chester, England. The town was a river port for the export of such local products as castor oil, flour, meat. During the mid-19th century, it became the county seat in 1848 and is incorporated in a city in 1855. Kaskaskia, founded in 1703, was a Jesuit mission. Became a prominent French village during the French and Indian War between 1754 and 1763. Between France and Britain, Fort Kaskaskia was erected on the bluffs near a settlement. By the Treaty of Paris in 1763, Kaskaskia came under British control. On July 8, 1778, George Rogers Clark captured Kaskaskia settlement, and the area became part of Virginia. Really. Kaskaskia served as Illinois' territorial capital 1809 to 1818 and was as the first state capital 1818 to 1820, when the capital was moved to Vidalia. Kaskaskia declined in importance, and Mississippi floods from 1844 to 1910 gradually destroyed the old settlement, and the area is now Fort Kaskaskia State Park. Sites of interest include the Garrison Hill Cemetery, containing a monument to the pioneers and the home of Perry Menard, first lieutenant governor, which is preserved as a state memorial, and the Kaskaskia State Memorial on Kaskaskia Island, containing the Liberty Bell of the West. At any rate, I really wanted to see this bridge. The bridge is 86 feet long from abutment to abutment. It was on a stone foundation. It is a Burr Arch Truss design. Well, sorry, kind of a letdown bummer that what we really come to see is not, we're not going to be able to see, but it's getting late, as you can see. We were delayed about an hour and a half from arriving here at our first place, and so we're just off of Illinois 150. So we're going to see if we can find a motel for the night and start back and try to figure out what else we might be able to do down here for tomorrow. Well, folks, we didn't read the fine print. It's only the first and third Saturdays of the month that they're open on a Saturday, and so bummer on this trip. We actually came down here. I wanted to see the tractor museum, American Tractor Museum down here in Perryville, Missouri. So 6-hour drive ended up being 7-hour drive by the time all the stuff occurred. Actually darn near 8 hours. But at any rate, with the traffic and all the wonderful stuff going on, so we're going to see what other adventure we can come up with today. There's another museum that's not far from here. We'll go down there and see it. At least that way it's not a wasted trip. Well, folks, we're back. We decided to come down here to Cape Girardeau, Missouri, and we went by the Fort D down here, but it's busy today. We're having some kind of a cookout or something going on there, so we'll come back to you if they'll let me record. It's an old fire station, but it says it's a Cape River Heritage Museum.
And one thing important about this room is, as Missourians, we're very proud of this flag. This is the flag that was adopted by the United States government when we became a state. We were the 24th state, and our 24th star was added. It's not a well-known flag because it was only the American flag for 14 years, because other states started coming in and they kept adding stars. But this is the American flag. The Missouri state flag was made here in Cape Girardeau by a woman named Marie Oliver. This is our Missouri state flag. Marie Oliver lived here in town, and she designed the flag while she was here in Cape Girardeau. And then if you ever do Missouri history, you will have heard of Lewis Houck. Lewis Houck was from Cape Girardeau. He wrote a 5-volume history of the state, and we have some of Lewis Houck's things over there and a few things here. The exhibit in the middle is a temporary exhibit. It belongs partially to a woman here in town and partially to the museum. And it's ladies' clothes, which might not interest you as much as it does her, but quite interesting. And then Bill will take.
I can't tell you anything about him either.
Okay, he doesn't deal with that. Okay, we have a big exhibit hall back here, and we have a river room, all things pertaining to the river. He can tell you about, we have 2 cars back there. One's a Rolls Royce and one's a 1928 Ford.
Hey, don't get ahead of yourself.
Okay, he'll tell you about it. So just feel free to wander around. Most of this is self-explanatory. It's not confusing like the founder and the namesake upstairs. So we're glad you came, and just look around, and Bill will be here for any questions you might have.
Now let's look at our local TV station. It was established Oscar Hurst. He actually started in the radio business when he was a kid. He and his buddies had crystal sets that they made so they could communicate back and forth, and it just developed into,
I made a crystal radio.
right. In World War I, he was stationed in France, and they, of course, they used those biplanes then just for reconnaissance purposes. You know, they didn't have bombers and all that. But they had to wait till that plane came back and landed and tell them what he saw before they could get their information. And Oscar said, well, I can put radios in them where they can come back, call back here to the base and tell us while they're looking at it. And he did. He installed radios in some of their biplanes, and they'd fly out and they'd call back and talk to the people at the base, which would give them a pretty good jump on.
The French are on
The
the cutting
activities.
edge of technology.
And at one time, the TV antenna that was just north of Cape was the tallest structure in the world. It was taller than the Empire State Building or anything around. It was the tallest, and then the Russians decided that they didn't like that. So they put an extension on one they had and got about 5 foot higher than ours.
Oh, that's
This is a kind of a rundown of Oscar. The first picture over there is his mom and dad's house where he started out. And then he went from there to a room in this Marquette Hotel with his radio business. And then he went to this house on Broadway and had an office in the Himmelberger building, which is now the hotel over here, Courtyard Hotel. And then in, I believe it was in the early 60s, that he built his big building downtown. Still the tallest building in Cape, which is not bragging it up too big. I think it's 10 stories.
oh, well, that's cool.
It's pretty nice. And this is the old Ross Tobacco Company. They were pretty well established in this area, and their building here was 1 block south of here on Frederick Street, right, just straight down the street, 1 block. Of course, it's torn down a long time ago, but they made chewing tobacco, they made pipe tobacco, cigarettes, and cigars. If you wanted it made out of tobacco, they could handle it. There's one of their old pipe and cigarette pouches. There's Foxy Grandpa was the name of their. Here's one of their old cigar boxes. Was that, you're not old enough to know what that is, are you?
What, a cigarette roller?
I've seen a lot of them roll with that. No, all he had to do was lick it. And of course, that's our Missouri state flag. This is a old radio tower that Hearst put up back in the 20s. Or late 20s, I think it's 29 when he and the professor up here at the college put that up.
French Second Empire Building replica.
Yeah, one of the local boys made that for a hobby, I guess. Maybe a Boy Scout project. The only thing I know about these women's clothes, I can show you right here. They had the smallest feet as I could ever imagine a woman that could get her foot in that shoe. Look how skinny that ankle is, even. Jeez. That's
Yeah,
half-
my feet aren't that small.
Well, my wife's are not either. And I don't know anybody's that are.
Yeah, I was gonna say they were.
Of course, this is a dust coat. And back in the Model T and Model A days, all the roads were gravel and dusty as the devil. So the women put on their go to meeting clothes, well, they had to wear something like this where they could shake the dust out of it and still have their clothes clean when they got there. And that's my knowledge about this whole.
Yeah.
And of course, this is Lewis Houck. He connected this part of the world with the railroads to all the smaller towns around and hooked them in. And then in 1904, while the World's Fair was in St. Louis, they wanted the connection to go from New Orleans to St. Louis by rail, and we were the only place they couldn't hook because of Cape Rock. They couldn't go jump up and down, so they blasted it away and made room for the railroad. And Miss Oliver's house is about 3 blocks this way, and then about 4 blocks north. It's Ella Street and North Street where they did in. The house is still there. It's been preserved. The people that own it now, when they bought it, they had it restored exactly like it was. They didn't let them change nothing, which is good. And it's a fabulous looking place. They live in it now. Kellermans do.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, this is some of Houck's old Cape. There he is driving the final spike on one of his railroad projects up there.
Bird's eye view in 1880, huh?
Yep, Cape doesn't look like that much anymore.
Yeah, I would imagine. I would imagine.
But strangely enough now, this street is still here. This street's still here. And still goes by the same name,
Oh,
which is, and this is Broadway, which they've renamed it. Well, Thema Street's still the same too, but they go a lot farther west now than they did then.
yeah, because like 55 is all the way.
Yeah, this is all farms back then. And when I was a kid, a lot of it was farm.
Well,
That was a long time ago too.
Yeah, so up where I lived, yeah, there was, yeah, but now Indianapolis is pretty much taken over Fishes.
Yeah.
There's Noblesville, and yeah, it's all part now. There's no definition between them anymore.
This is Cape's first police vehicle.
Bicycle.
Yep. That
I
was,
figured it'd be a horse.
well, no, I said vehicle.
Oh, okay.
That probably you're right. But this old bicycle was in the basement over here in the old police station. And when we dug it out and did a little research, it's kind of unique, and it's got hard rubber tires.
Yeah.
It has no brakes. Anytime the wheels turn and the pedals are turning. So if he wanted to slow down, he had to put his foot up here and rub his shoe sole on that front tire. That was his brake.
Ooh.
And you wouldn't be able to
That
do that
could be
going down the
exciting.
hill,
Yeah.
And the old wagon here, of course, it's made for a kid's wagon, but our old wagon builder built an exact replica of a farm wagon for his grandkids to play with. His shop was up here, 1 block north of here on Middle Street. But if you're not old enough probably to remember farm wagons, but
Yeah, that's great.
they had the brakes like that. The hounds up here are made just like they were made. It's just an exact replica of an old farm wagon.
Didn't Grandpa have one? Or something close to that?
Yeah, there was an old farm wagon that's gone now.
And then our fire department, this was the first thing we had portable to fight fires with. Man tilt that thing over and run down the street with it. And if you saw him coming, get out of his way, because he was a heck of a man if he could handle that dude running.
Yeah.
Well, here's this is the same fire station here as is here right now. This is back when we got our horses.
Difficult to
Yeah, that was,
fight fires in
Yeah, everything here was from the old fire department. They'd left the stuff here. But we went from this to this. This is the same building as that. We went from there to there. Back in the corner, something I like to show people too.
Oh, it's all dual.
The first duel west of the Mississippi River was on Little Island right out here in North Cape. And read that, that's unbelievable. This guy had 7 kids and got involved in a duel. Is that something?
Yeah, well, and there's a Hamilton and Burr, yeah.
But that did settle the argument, I guess.
Yeah, well, it would definitely settle an argument.
And all these stones and hoes and arrowheads they're all local. They were all picked up right around here in Caper.
That's cool.
And then we got a 1928 Model A Ford. It was bought new here in Cape in 1928. It's still got its original license plate and its original city license from 1928.
Oh, they had to have city licenses, huh?
And the old car is in pretty good shape. It'll start, it'll run, all that. Belongs to one of our board members. And the young lady back here was probably his flapper girlfriend about that time.
Old tennis racket.
Yeah, it's got a long seat,
Yeah.
mother-in-law seat, some of them call it. The gal had to have her music, so I guess.
Music, Edison Bucks.
Edison photograph.
Yeah.
There's several records she could change her mind, and this is the speaker for the system.
Right, and those, aren't those wax?
Here, no,
They're not wax?
no. See, feel right there. It belongs to me, so if we scratch it, we just scratched it.
Okay.
That's just like on the flat records that we play, it's the same thing.
Yeah, the grooves.
But
But what is this material then?
well, it's Bakelite, I would assume, wouldn't you, as before plastic.
Oh, it didn't even has a,
Oh, it's got the name of the song.
I'd rather be outside looking.
But on the inside looking out.
Yeah, okay.
Made in Orange, New Jersey. Patented 1901 to 1907. Copyright by the National Phonograph Company, Thomas Edison.
Yeah. Well,
That belongs to me. My grandmother's brother bought that new, and when he died, why,
you got her, yeah.
well, I had to go to the estate sale to get it,
Yeah.
but I got it.
Butter churn.
Yeah, that,
Okay, so they just rocked it back and forth to churn the butter.
but it's so big, it almost had to be for commercial use. You know, if you put that much cream in that long, you're talking what, about 4 gallons of cream.
And yeah, then take about 4 hours.
And then, yeah, but they did make it where the kids could do it instead of you have to stand there doing it.
Put the kids to work. There you go. That works. That works. That works.
This is a picture of one of our early Missouri Supreme Court justices. Mr. Cook was on the territorial council and everything, trying to get Missouri statehood, so when they finally came up with it, right. Well, I don't know. No, I thought I heard somebody say something a while ago, but I thought it was you. No, I don't think there's anybody else down here. Yeah, there is too. I'm wrong. Well, anyway, Mr. Cook family didn't want the picture. You know, he'd gone through a couple generations, but then none of them knew him, so they wrote it down and gave it to us.
Well, that's
Which is a lot better. It was in bad shape. It had a hole in it and the frame was screwed up, but my wife's artistic, so she fixed the hole and repainted the thing
well,
over
that's
here.
cool.
I fixed the frame. Made it look better anyway.
Telegram.
This one here is all college. Dick, Jane, and Sally. You're not old enough to learn to read by them, I don't guess. They'd probably gone on to something else. But for about 80 years, that was first grade material for all the schools around here.
I kind of remember seeing some books like that. Yes.
This kind of goes with that desk. Rules for teachers in 1872.
Oh yeah, cleaning the chimneys and yeah, we have a old schoolhouse there around Indiana that we've been
Yeah.
to that had similar to that. But they also had the up there the oldest boy had to stoke the fire.
Well, here the teacher's responsible for getting it done, but you're probably right. That's probably who did it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And of course, there's a washing machine. Beat a,
And
beat a scrub board, I guess, anyway.
Michigan washing machine. Yeah.
See that agitator? Like I
Well,
said,
we went to Adams Mill up there in Indiana, and they got the old style that they put the clothes in a bucket, and then they had a cone.
had a
that you-
dasher? Yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah. It was called Women's Aid or something like that.
I don't know. I'm not the one that went with you to
Women, yeah,
that.
I know. That was another dollar.
This is a 1935 Rolls Royce, made in England.
Well, we won't hold that against it.
It's never been refurbished. It's just been taken care of. It's in good shape. It runs. We drove it in here.
Hold 25 horsepower.
Yeah, how about that?
The wonders of gearing make this, because this, I bet this is 4,000 pounds.
It rides good.
Yeah.
I didn't drive it, but put the steering wheel on the wrong side.
Yeah, definitely on the wrong side.
Look at the size of the headlights.
But look at the woodwork in that dash. Police officers. Nightstick.
Look at those handcuffs. They're heavy duty, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's that'd be a small arm to it too that goes around. I know.
This is a chainsaw carving of a Union soldier back in the Civil War.
Well, some artists is pretty good.
I've heard it out.
Nice.
Everything in this room here is connected to the river somehow.
Okay.
Did you cross?
Does
the river?
this, no.
Yeah, that's
This is the new
that's
bridge.
the new one, and that's the old one.
Is the old one still there?
No, it's gone. We'll show you when we get in here a
Uh-huh.
little deeper. Did you come down and cross at Chester, or did you cross here?
We come down 55 from up there at Perrysville and then come in off of, what is it, 61?
51, coming across from the river? Yeah. Can you?
Well, wait, now actually, when we come across the river down, because we stayed the night in Perrysville last night, and we come across was it Chester, Illinois?
Yeah, Chester.
And
Can you
because we're going to stop and take a look at Mary's Bridge, covered bridge, and it doesn't say anything about it being closed, but it was closed.
It was closed.
And
Could you see any construction going on there when you cross the river on that Chester Bridge?
it was dark when we
Dark.
came across there. We
They're-
couldn't see
they're
anything.
supposed to be, they're supposed to move some cranes in and started doing some abutment work. They're building a new bridge across there now.
Oh, and for well, the bridge I was on didn't seem like it was that old.
Well, it's not that bad, but this one, when they replaced it, it was bad.
Oh, okay. All right.
Now, see this picture over here, it shows the old one and the new one together. That's demolition day.
Oh, when it come down. Yeah. Went from a truss to a suspension bridge.
Uh-huh. That second section that cracked there and sagged a little, it wasn't supposed to do anything, it was supposed to stay still. They were gonna shoot this one and then clean the river out where barge traffic could come over here when they shot that long span. But the vibration got it, the old bridge was in that bad a shape. Unintentional breakage there.
Yeah. Well, they cleaned it up a little quicker than they anticipated, didn't they?
A lot quicker.
Delta Queen.
Here's a picture of the old bridge when they were building it. Which is kind of neat, where they had to cantilever that thing out. This diorama here was made by a local sign painter. The guy painted it, did the carving of the man, put it all together and gave it to his boss for Christmas present. That Maxie hung it in his office until they closed up the sign company. And then they gave it to us.
He did a wonderful job on
He
that.
really did. Yeah, the carving of that man looking that way is just as, well, see where he's got his sleeves rolled up and just, I mean, he really did a job.
Yeah.
That was when the new bridge had opening day in 1928, September 3rd. That's when the old bridge was opened up. That's the reason it was in such bad shape. It'd been here a while.
Yeah.
The wheel there, the man that bought it was gonna cut it in two and make a footboard and a headboard for his bed.
Oh.
Well, he died, didn't get it done. So his son ended up with it. Son kept it in the basement, and he was gonna do something with it, and then he died. And nobody wanted it anymore, so they asked us if we'd take it, so sure we would. It's out of a real steamboat off of Mississippi and White River.
Well, here's a
If you're a Louis Armstrong fan, we got a picture of him over here playing on a riverboat in Cape back in the 1920s. He's a trumpet. See, there's Louis. Here's a list of all the people. Can I show you anything? Or have you done it already?
No, when we got as far as here when your mate came.
Oh, good. Come on in. Think you've done that one well. Start in here.
I'll take the cards.
Give me our board.
You still run? Would be their work for these cars.
Yeah, we have silverware that kind of looks like that. Well, the design kind of hasn't changed much, has it?
Yeah, it's never been redone, it's just written. The leather, the wood. Like I said, it runs good, we drove it here. I got to ride the back seat, to ride like a road.
Obviously, he can touch it. My grandpa would say, "Would you like to?" I didn't even get to touch grandpa's. I couldn't even let my feet touch the floorboard.
Okay. This is 1920 model.
Well, did you see the spindle thing right here?
yeah. Boat whistle, steam motor whistle. Riverboat wreckage. In 2012, Amy Arnold Grammer discovered the remains during a period when the river level was in Cape. Was exceptionally low. The boat originally had a self-propelled steering system and an iron hull, wood deck, and battery-powered electrical system. Huh. Keelboats. Can you imagine a crew of 30 to 40 men?
That would be nuts. It would have to be bigger.
Yeah, huh? There's a dugout model. Pretty cool. What's this replica of?
But
Enos Free, a river harbor tugboat. Built in 1937, converted to a yacht in 1975. The model boat was made by Ken Marvin of San Diego, California. Old tug made into a yacht. Oh, steamboat Cape Girardeau. Well, they even had a steamboat named after the city. Oh, I didn't didn't see those lanterns up there. There's more lights up there.
Yeah.
The steamboats. Navigation light.
From the fire station. Well, I guess this is another picture of the steamboat.
Yeah, there's another replica of it. There's a nice mural of Metropolis. There's this is the building we're in right there. Thought she said that the jail and so forth was down in the basement.
Oh, we weren't shown that.
Yeah, I didn't see anywhere to go down. There's the what's the door on his brother's?
Stepfather. Also.
There's our dock for holding ropes for river boats. Well, that's a heavy chain. Well, the jail is not open, so we can't go down in the basement to the jail.
I think she seemed definitely scared of it too.
Yeah, she seemed to be very scared of it. She didn't know it really is. Yeah, sands on concrete bedding, so basically they laid on concrete. This is the fire department. The jail was down below here, which those are the windows to the jail. But this is was the original fire department. And of course we can't go upstairs because that's just all archival stuff. But at any rate, pretty neat old building. And so forth. There's that radio tower that they showed earlier. But oh, he's got a little what we got here? Oh, we got a, which would be a little little park thing back here. All right, folks. Made a little block bridge. That's pretty neat. Somebody very creative. All right, folks. That's what I got. Thanks for watching. Hopefully more to come. We haven't decided yet when we're headed back and which way we're going. There's some figured I'd bring you back so you could see us crossing over the Mississippi on the newest bridge that they've got up here at Cape Rideau.